Hi everyone, it's MxRheyRhey. Welcome back to my channel. If you don't know what we do here, well, what I do here, every Wednesday I put out a Watercolor Wednesday video, and then every other Friday I either put out a abstract or miscellaneous, rather, art video. And we just chill out here. Sometimes I talk through the video, sometimes it's just a time lapse, but today I feel like talking, so we're going to be doing that for around 20 or so minutes. So what you're going to be seeing me here do today is a little watercolor sketch. Obviously, it's Watercolor Wednesday. This sketch itself / painting is actually part of a art challenge that I let myself do. It was a 10-day art challenge. I believe this was day number 6, which was a Seascape theme. And I don't know, I wanted to get the sketch over with quickly, and then I went to getting in my watercolor pencils to put in sort of the groundwork base color that I wanted, and then I went ahead and just painted. I believe I went back to using my Drencraft watercolors, and then I used some of my metallic watercolors by Poems About You that I got on Etsy. They are handmade, and just to add a little shimmer to the painting. I was actually really, really proud of this. I think out of the whole 10-day challenge, this is the one I was most proud of. But other than that, I don't know what I'm going to talk about. Today, the day of this upload, September 16th, 2020, if you don't know, is my birthday. So if you're watching it on the day of the upload, you are obligated to tell me happy birthday in the comments, and I will graciously thank you with a reply, probably saying thank you. But yeah, so I will be I will be the recording. I am the video. 27 years old now, and what a year to have a birthday, right? Geez, I don't want to talk about 2020. Everyone talks about 2020 and how it was like the worst year ever, and like we've been saying that every year, and I'm getting tired. I've been tired, but like I said, not gonna talk about that. What can we talk about today? It is a Wednesday. I guess the weather's okay. Where I am, it hasn't been too hot, what with the fires and all, even though I'm like in the middle of California. But like because of the smoke from the fires, the weather hasn't been like horribly hot where I am. But I can't go outside to breathe, so you know, pros and cons. Let's see, 27. That's usually the year nowadays where people start having like their identity crisis, right? I feel like that's a year that I read people start having an identity crisis because they're like, holy crap, I'm officially in my late 20s. What am I doing with my life? I'm almost 30 and blah, 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 blah. And like, guys, I've been there. I am there already. I don't need to be 27 to have an identity crisis. Yeah, like, I think things like that are actually like really important. I'm stretching, I'm sorry. If you hear like crackles or pops or me going like straining my voice, I'm doing stretches because I have to do something with my body while I'm talking. Track. Yes. So I feel like, okay, that's not my computer. Yeah, me and you are listening to the same music at the same time. Wild. Track. Yes, I actually feel, despite how they feel when you are in the middle of them, I actually feel like identity crises like these are really important to have. It's always good to like stop for a second or a little longer and like really take inventory of your mind and your body and how you're feeling and how you have got, like how you are in your life at the present moment, and then see if you are on the track of where you want to be like, I am by no means a health expert or, fit to be talking about stuff like this, but just from personal experience, like, yeah, like, just, I am always trying to figure out where I am in the present moment and how I'm going to do that in the future. The only problem is I don't know what my future is going to be. And that's always like, I think that's always the part that makes people panic. They're like, holy crap, what am I going to be in another 10 years? And I'm just going to tell you, you have no effing idea what you're going to be like in 10 years. Like, you can plan, you can like set yourself on a track as best you can, and even if you follow that, you will not realize that you will be what you are in 10 years. Like, 10 years later, you can like think back to this precise moment like you do as children, where you just stop, stare into the distance, and say, I will remember this exact moment when I am 20, and then you turn 20, and then it's just like, dung, I remember when I was 7, I stared off into space, and I said these exact words. It's gonna be like that, but only from like 27 to like an indiscriminate 30s number, because some people are sensitive about that, some people aren't. And you're gonna be like, I had no idea I was going to be just like this, that my life was going to turn out this way. And like, that's the point of living, You're not supposed to know every single moment of your life. Like, if you know, like, tomorrow that you're going to go to the grocery store, that's one thing. But like, if you know in 10 years you're going to have like a crippling addiction to Amiibos and like, I don't know, some new cheese chip, like, there's no way you can know that. That's, like, you can be the most successful person you want to be in 10 years, and you will have no idea where you will be in that present moment now. And I think that's what scares a lot of people when they turn 27 and and they either start thinking about their future or they're panicked about how they've been thinking about their future. And it's just, I feel like it's a thought experiment that doesn't have an end, and that's why people's anxieties stick to it. Because, like, if your anxiety is like this little snot gremlin in your hand, I don't know why it has to be snot, and I apologize if your gremlin is not snot, but mine is, because I am a very phlegmy person. I have been my entire life. I am very sorry for giving you that information. But anyway, this like little anxiety gremlin that you can pick up in your hand. Sometimes you can't pick it up in your hand. Sometimes it's this giant monster that's just sitting on your shoulders, like an evil parrot. I'm rambling. Anyway, this anxiety gremlin that you have, it is in your hand or it is not in your hand. You can visualize it though. It loves to prey on the unknown. And what it loves about open-ended philosophical questions is that there is no actual answer. And so it takes advantage of that, and it just never stops because there is no end. And you have to realize that you need to like duct tape this anxiety gremlin's mouth shut and just let you breathe for a second. My shoulders have been absolutely tense all weekend. And like, probably right now, is it? I can't loosen my shoulders, so yes. But just because I think all the time, and it's horrible. You guys, thinking is horrible. It's great, and you help like solve a lot of problems, but like when you're alone and you have this anxiety gremlin just like whispering in your ear all these open-ended questions, and they don't want to give you an answer because they're pieces of shit. They purposely give you all of these and like questions to think about, and then just like go off to leave you with all of this weird ball of questions that you can't answer. That's the problem with anxiety. It literally doesn't want you to answer these questions, so it can continue to like just be there in your head and take up space because it's a habit. It's a habit that needs to just stop. Like, yes, anxiety is important in the body. Having it overtake your body is the problem. Like, I'm preaching to the choir. Everyone should know this. Everyone does know this. But like, sometimes you just have to realize, you have to like say it out loud and vocalize it. And then you realize, once you say it out loud, once you kind of make it like, in a sense, put in the real world, not just out of your mind, you can really hear what all of that is about. And like, then you decide to do something about it now that you've vocalized it, put it out in the world, or you decide to pull it back in, and then you're just kind of miserable because you are aware of what anxieties you have, you know? Like, it's horrible, and then it becomes bigger. And you don't want it to become bigger because then it fully consumes you. This was supposed to be talking about my birthday. My arms are outstretched wide, you can't see, but just imagine me doing like a T-pose while sitting, and I'm just staring at a computer blankly like, what the hell have I gotten myself into? It's nice, isn't it? But yeah, 27. I think that's the golden age for a crisis right now. And I've been there. And honestly, I'm figuring it out. I'm like, I think I'm on already at 27, turning 27, at the tail end of that identity crisis. I'm like realizing how much of a mess I've left behind me. And I'm like picking up the biggest pieces first, like broken glass. You have to pick up the biggest pieces first, put them in a pile or throw them away. Or put them in a bag and then throw them away. Put these big glass anxiety pieces in a bag. Put them together if you want to. Me and my mom, we always have this really, habit. I don't know if it's good or bad, but we pick up, if any kind of glass breaks, we can pick up the biggest pieces first, and we put them together like a puzzle, because we're obsessed with puzzles. We like finding solutions to puzzles. And if there are too many pieces missing, or too many smaller pieces can't be put back together because, they're glass and you can't pick up small pieces of glass, or like you just can't find them, then you have to throw those pieces away and then just buy a new glass piece. So I am back. I had to stop recording for a second because family dropped by and I had to be a person for a little while. And then I ate lunch. And so now that I'm back and I had to play what you haven't heard yet, not yet, like at all, actually, you're not going to hear it at all. But now that you haven't heard it, and I tried to hear it back, I have no idea where I was going. So, let's change topics a little. I am still turning 27, and this video is still about how I cope with my identity crises. And that is, I make a plan. So, like, here's one thing. I have sort of always known that my head was a complete mess. Like, I've talked about this before, how I believe I have ADHD and other things like that. And it's simply just because, like, I get things. I can focus on things that I enjoy, or even things that I just, like, get into a rhythm of. But, like, it takes so much energy. Like, nowadays, like, because of my current schedule of, like, watching children or doing YouTube or things like that, of that nature, having to be, like, and having to be a person at that same time, like adult persons who have to, like, go to the grocery store and buy food and have a bank account and all of that stuff. All of that exhausts me to where the point I used to have so much time, like such a horrible time trying to get to sleep. I would sit there in bed exhausted and not being able to sleep. Now, if I just like put on music, like the music that you're hearing right now, actually, let me do that because I can't hear it when in the voice recordings. So I'm just a little bit volume more. So we're listening to the same music. Yay. Right, sleeping. Now, if I just play music like this or something and set my timer for 30 minutes and like I text my boyfriend goodnight, I am asleep before he has the chance to text back like 10 minutes later. And like you would think that sounds fabulous, but like I'm not resting. Like I'm sleeping. I'm resting the body, technically, but, like, my mind is still completely racing when I'm, like, asleep and I'm having thoughts. And because I'm having thoughts in sleep mode, like, they're even worse. They're, like, 4 sentences in one, And like, I get it all at the time, but then I wake up and I'm like, what was all of that? And like, I can't rest my head to think when that happens. And like, that's a sign that you're probably a little overworked, at least to me. So what I'm trying to do with that is find ADHD friendly coping mechanisms, like having routines so you kind of get into the mindset, like transitioning and all that stuff. I actually watch a YouTuber, I believe her channel is How to ADHD. Let me just check. Yes, she is amazing. She's helped me a lot with how to like deal with my everyday to-day life. It's not always easy, like routines and everything, and having to structure your life is never easy, but like it helps, you know? And like, I'm learning how to organize my spaces so that they don't feel as chaotic, and so I'm not feeling as anxious about being around them. Especially when I am filling like my spaces with things that are mine, like things that I enjoy. Like before I moved all my art stuff to this studio that I am in, like my room was complete chaos. Like I had 2 desks in my room, one for art and one for gaming, because I also am a game designer. And like, I would just spend all my time in my room, as much as I could anyway, for doing my things. But then like, I was too anxious. I ended up, anytime I needed to like think about game design stuff, I would walk over to my art desk and start thinking, because I just felt like if I'm not in that space, then I won't feel the pressure of thinking about it. But that wasn't helping at all. So I had to separate stuff. And now I know when I am in my computer desk chair, that is for computers and gaming. And then when I am over here at the studio, I can be as loud and as vibrant and as like wiggly as I want to be in order to get into that creative process. So, like, step 1 was inventory yourself, get a hold of who you were in the present, your thoughts, your feelings, your body, your mind, and now organize that shit. Like, however you feel is organized, be realistic, like be completely 100% honest with yourself. If this is a pile of thoughts over here and a pile of thoughts over there, or if you need more like file accordion folder structure in your life, like be honest with yourself and figure out your goals as a big blanket goal, as a big blanket step, and then go into that sort of mental folder of goals and lay it out step by step, either as big steps or as small steps, as many as you need, and then focus on that one step at a time. And then like when you're done making that plan, step back, look at it, and just feel how anxious you feel about that, and then figure out why. And if you don't feel anxious about it, then you know that you're going on the right track, you know? It's just identities as like a whole in this whole thing. Who you feel you are, how you feel about who you are. They all change constantly. Like, I will not be the same tomorrow as I am today on my birthday on the 27th for this video. It's actually the day before my birthday when I'm recording this, but you know, time is funny, and so are YouTube videos. But all in all, it's just remember to just not worry too much about your future. If you're like in a situation, I totally understand, like I get that. Sometimes I always feel like I am in a situation, but then I have to like step back and realize where I am, how I am doing what I am doing, and then, you know, reshift my focus. Sometimes you have to remember that you have to take some time to figure yourself out. And like, for me personally, it's always because I feel like if I am not doing something, then I am failing at life. But like taking time out of my life to figure out what that life is progress. And just, you need, like, everyone needs to do that too. Like, they have to figure, you don't have to figure everything out right away. You don't have to make a whole, like, your whole life plan in, like, what I'm talking about, like, right then and there. You can improvise, and you can scratch things out, and you can put little smiley faces and stickers and do whatever you feel is best in this life plan that you're figuring out, or like realizing you're making and everything. But like, don't let it hurt you in the long run. Don't let it like stress you out to the point of like having an ulcer and needing to go to the doctor and things like that, because that, going to a doctor doesn't help with stress. So like, I don't know. When it comes to identity crisis, just remember that you can't not have an identity, no matter what you're doing in life or where you are. You are just you. And I have trouble remembering that sometimes. Sometimes I forget that I am myself. I have a self outside of like my family and like what I actually do. Like, I have goals. Yeah, I finally have goals in life. I think that's what's helping me not freak out all the time. But like, I don't know. I think I've rambled really long now. I don't know how much of it was gleaned. I don't know how much of it made sense. I feel like this is just my ranting channel at this point. And I'm really sorry if that's the case. If you've stuck around for like this long, I actually appreciate you a whole bunch. And like, if this is your thing, then let me know. I have a feeling I'm getting to the end of a video, so I'm sure wherever I am in this painting, because I'm not watching myself paint, that's kind of always really weird. I end up like doing half discussions when I do that, and then like I do a half discussion and then I go to the video and then I forget what my discussion was about, so I start a new half discussion, and it's not good. If I just like watch my waveform of me talking, I can stay on track, sort of, for what I'm talking about. So if you liked my little rant of having an identity crisis and how I've been trying to deal with it, sort of, then thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like this video if you like what I made. I will make a video later on all of the art I did in my 10-day challenge. It's actually was really fun. I'm on my last day now and I haven't painted it yet, but I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. So subscribe if you like my content. If you've made it to the very end of this video, then you go. Like, I fully support you and thank you for supporting me. It means so much. So I'm gonna go now. Bye.